Hello, Music Multiverse listeners. Welcome back. And now we're again in the top five of the 24 albums of 2024. This will be number four. Yesterday was a stoner heavy rocker with a wearing of their head and their habit right on their cranked up sleeves, guitar work, killer drumming, and a bluesy all in delivery that shook the foundation of our stereo again and again and again. Go back to your um, headset, get it on, and give these guys cranked up. You can also go back and listen to the other 18 choices we had this year from 24 up to number five. Quick statistic before I reveal number four. This is Beyond Your Radio's top 24 albums of 2024, heavily influenced by my listening of over 440 new albums this year. That of the 858 new albums that are on my spreadsheet to listen to at this point. That's right. If you're paying attention, you realize that I just did another four. That's right. This weekend so far, I got a Friday and this morning under my belt. I got in Maruja's Vault, Maruja's The Vault, which was a 1 hour and 25-minute jam session that had this improv, emotive jazz alt rock thing going on. 25 um, epic lead track, which was amazing. Kind of went a little long in a place, but I understand the jamming. They're still creatively. I can say it's raw. I'd say it's pure. So that, and I also decided, well, why don't I take on Maze Envy, the album name, which is by Sybaris, a jaunt in the death growl metal prog world, if you will. But there were others too that I will remain mentionless at this point because they could show up on the next show. Good news, bad news. I'm genre blind, whether that's in your wheelhouse or not, that's okay. I understand that you may not be as obsessed as I am with music overall, but I mean, I can go from Porcupine Tree to Trees Speak. I can go from Belinda Carlisle to Willie Carlisle. Yes, that's a new one. And then from Megadeth to JPEG Mafia, which new one there. I can promise there's no ass kissing, no I want to be popular kind of thing. I want to agree with everyone else, so I'm being paid attention to too. No, I've listened to as much as possible. No one album was ever sent to me for cash or paid to me. These gripped and stuck with me, and it didn't matter the genre. So all I can ask of you when you're watching this is to hear us out. Who knows? Based on what we might talk about, the snippets or songs we play, maybe it will enhance or change your overall listening experience for this year and forever moving forward. And today is one of those albums. It is a jaunting, progressive keyboard and piano epic that encapsulates a folk tale that is not from this part of the world, from a genius piano player and composer that has a gift for a profundity that is way beyond my scope, a grand piano and classical neo folk and an avant-garde jazz approach. And this time he's audio tuned into a showcase his work with both the classical piano key, but also organ and synth and keyboard, along with an epic story for that's for the improgist, we'll call it, a prog jazz rock ethereal musical that is not for the faint of ear or for those that are looking for a quick ear fix. This is Bird of a Thousand Voices from Tigran Hamasyan and Nate Wood. Mostly Tigran Hamasyan. I think Nate Wood had some, I'll talk about him in a minute. This is at number four of our albums of 2024. When I heard about this album, the attachment to Armenian folk and the movie musical kind of setup here, I was sort of, I don't know, a little leery like you would be too. I won't connect with it because it's Armenian and I'm not Armenian, nor do I speak it. But perhaps with beautiful classical and avant-garde jazz approach, as well as immaculate composition, my ear would be moved like it normally is with Tigran. So I'm such a novice at these kind of things. It's hard to explain and figure this out. So I'm not going to sit here as some sort of elitist and lead you into this going, you need to listen to this because it will enhance your ability to understand music. It'll enhance your musicality. It will increase your catalog tenfold, what you'll experience. No, it's an anxious intrepidation that you feel when you finally are able to be heard in the entirety of it, which takes an hour and a half to complete. So I am going to let the maestro behind this explain the concept, like I did when we did this on Album Review Saturday, because I just put it on and, well, you'll know when you put it on, right? The Transmedia Project, The Bird of a Thousand Voices, is the first of its kind to bring ancient Armenian folktale Hazaran Bibul to life. This is an Armenian composer and pianist, Tigran Hamasyan, and Dutch filmmaker and visual artist Ruben van Leer joining forces for a new live stage production that has its world premiere with the Holland Festival. The mythical bird, whose thousand different songs travel the world to spread harmony, comes to life in an intriguing new kind of music theater, an online game, a kinetic art installation, and a series of films. I have the link to that in the description. Now, on with the actual review of this daunting musical composition project and album. I can give you the exact moment, actually, when I realized that I was listening to one of the greatest modern compositions, blending classical music with storytelling, progressive rock, and an atmospheric orchestration, The Path of No Return. There's a dramatic piano, keyboard, classical movement, and moment that comes a few songs later in The Savior is Condemned. That sends this all cascading forward and onward. It's the path that starts and gives the unique audio emotional impression that kind of leaks and explodes through song after song. Those leaks, explosions, and progressive orchestrations and movements all come at the design and fingertips of Tigran Hamasyan. His blending of smooth and soothing vocal humming participants and blistering keys, piano, along with tempered or thundering percussions, leaves your ear stunned at just about every corner. Think of this as maybe an opera, and then you're really starting to become ensnared by the rapture of all this. It's everything you want in a classical production and an operatic piece and an enveloping orchestration and purely progressively passionate in its expression. You know, Tigran has had me when Root came, but here on A Bird of a Thousand Voices, I have finally come to the conclusion that he has crafted a masterpiece that pushes the classical landscape like nothing has ever been pushed before, and increased his musical space to include a new fusion with like the progressive aspects of it, which is not something you just do overnight. This is truly a remarkable achievement in sound and attached to storytelling sound, right? Storytelling sound in the music and in the vocal harmonies. And if you knew Armenian, then you're having the full-on experience. I don't know Armenian, and I didn't have my translation book out, but I don't think it's necessary. It might not have that overall capacity to completely and utterly appreciate every single perfected inch and the true details of it all without a master class at some sort of prestigious music school on a private mountainside in Austria. I mean, you get the view, right? Remarkable recording that continues to unveil more and more as you continue to listen. This is a listener's album, a music appreciator's album. This is 1 hour and a half gem of devout musicianship and musical outpouring with a storytelling arc in music and foreign language that is amazing. And an album that is truly and utterly going to be beyond your radio. and not on most of any lists of 2024. I actually did see it on one and quite up there with ours at that. So I felt like, Jesus, maybe am I not the only one? This is not a one and done listen, a musical album to experience when you're ready. Maybe even more musically mature than you are today. It's not that you can't go back and hit that sleaze rock button and go at it and again come back afterwards and play this album secretly in your earbuds. I'm not going to hold it against you. You don't have to write back how much you love this album at the expense of throwing away your musical career as a Cinderella fan. Not that there's anything wrong with Cinderella. I'm just painting a picture for you. How does Nate Wood figure in this? And who is Nate Wood? Because you may not actually know who Nate Wood is. I mean, I didn't at this point. He's played with Wayne Krantz, um, The Calling, Taylor Hawkins, and the Coastal Riders, if you need a little bit more push. A multi-instrumentalist, but a drummer by trade, I guess. Bass guitar, electric guitar, and he does vocals. In addition to his work with Kneebody, he's toured and performed with artists such as George Harrison, Chaka Khan, and of course, Snarky Puppy. He lends another percussive side to this that is probably outside the wheelhouse of Tigran. And that's the beautiful blend and more that you get with this record. It is not a pure classical pianist record. It is an organ, a bass, a guitar. It's everything. But the drumming is immaculate on this record, and it does showcase a lot more to everything. And I forgot that he even done drum with Sting. So come on, this kid Nate Wood is quite exceptional. And he's not a kid, but hey, he was born in '79. So now that you got the full-on take and a little bit of snidbits, I'm hoping that you'll dive into Tigran Hamasyan, Nate Wood, The Bird of a Thousand Voices, our number 4 album of the year. What was your number 4 album? Are you going to be willing to take this epic jaunt with Tigran Hamasyan and Nate Wood? I certainly hope so. And if you do, please let us know. Also, if you already have, give us your opinions of the record. Where does it fall in your tops of 2024? Especially if you're a classical, neoclassical folk, and how this maybe you're a lover of Tigran Hamasyan and this record shocked you, because this is what can happen. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're on the web at beyondyourradio.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, of course. You know, we've got articles, videos, and a podcast coming right around the corner, all about albums, bands, artists, anything we can get our hands on, especially stuff like this. Go Beyond Your Radio with us, a real music appreciation channel. I'll see you later today for our final album review Saturday. This is number 50. And of course, I'll see you tomorrow for album number 3, because there's always a cure for something. Thank you for watching and happy listening.